Alright, so it's been a while since I played Return to Drangleic, and a lot of this footage is going to be sped up because I'm going to be doing post-commentary for it. I only got like the second half of the commentary for some reason. Somehow, I looked into it. It was really weird. My camera just didn't get the first half for some reason, and it's not like it deleted the first half of it since it can only split the files up into 30-minute increments, but it's weird. It's hard to explain, but this is what I've been up to in Return to Drangleic, apparently. I'm still trying to, like, get my bearings straight in this video a little bit, so you see me stumbling around, because I haven't played a Dark Souls game in a while, ever since I beat Dark Souls 3, and especially I haven't played 2 in a while, so it's a thing that I'm getting used to right now. So, I left off at the Doors of Pharos. Oh, hey cat. And that leads us to Brightstone Cove, Sildora. And there's actually a lot of really good shit in Brightstone Cove. Sit at the bonfire, please. Oh yeah, I had a soda. I was like, yeah. So, there's a really good reason that I went through Brightstone Cove, Sildora before, and I believe I explained it earlier in the videos, but I keep forgetting because I keep making these videos like months apart. But, and I fucked up horribly and died. I kind of forgot that, oh yeah, this is Dark Souls. My main method of attack should be to maintain a distance and zone instead of just running up and meleeing people. The only reason I buffed the sword is for last resort. But yeah, the reason I'm coming to Brightstone Cove first is because the Duke's Dear Freya drops the soul necessary for the Moonlight Greatsword, which is quintessential for the sorcerer build. But there's also something here that's pretty neat to get in this encampment. Just gotta clear out all the enemies, and there are just a bunch of annoying falconer fucks. And no, they don't have a drill kick. It's easier to speed up footage when you don't have commentary. I've kind of noticed this with editing Kratos Dark Souls videos, that I can't cut out a lot of the Dark Souls footage because a lot of the commentary is really good. And usually I end up leaving in footage of areas that he's already traversed. The last Dark Souls 3 session I edited, there was like at least 15 minutes of him just wandering around because he was going off on a tangent about Kevin Hart, and I wasn't there. I had to run off and do something, and then I came back and he was just running around in Crucifixion Woods. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh yeah, that is, what the fuck am I doing? Then he goes off into another tangent, and I'm just like, no, stop running around aimlessly. Concentrate on what you're doing. But yeah, that Will is a bitch to get into. That well. It's just specifically annoying. I don't know, the more and more I play this game and the more and more I look at footage for this game, the more I feel like this is more of a Trolls Dark Souls. Like, this is Dark Souls for trolls. Like, not for people who want a challenge, it's for people who just want to be fucking trolled. And the Staff of Wisdom is very quintessential to the Sorcerer build because it is the best sorcerer staff in the game. It has S scaling with intelligence. Unfortunately, I do need an intelligence of 50 in order to wield it properly, which currently I lack at 41. But we'll get there soon. Maybe I could even grind some souls just to make it work. It might actually be worth it if I grind it a little bit in this game. See, they put a respawn limit on the enemies, but you can still grind if you know where to grind. Like that Falconer camp. That Falconer encampment's actually a good place to grind now that I think about it. And this is where I wander off to the bonfire because I'm just like, oh, I should equip the fall control spell. But then I was just like, oh wait, I don't have it yet. Fall control isn't I don't get it until later. I believe, yeah, Weaponsmith Ornifex sells it. I believe I actually get it in this video. So these peasants are a weird bunch. They have gardening weapons enchanted with dark. Urine works really well on them. Urine works a lot on enemies in general. Urine's just a really OP spell in this game, and then in Dark Souls 3 they made it completely useless. Alright, so now we enter the spider cave. There will be a lot of spiders. And there are human skeletons here. That torch right there, you can actually... It's actually a hint. It's like you can light fire to keep the spiders away from you, and that treasure chest is a trap. And you just open it, and then the spiders are just lured to you. That's all it does. And then right here, I actually forget that this boss existed. I was like, oh yeah, this is here. But yeah, this is what I like to do a lot in general, just corral all the enemies into an area with urine and then just spam soul spears. And this is another reason why Dark Souls 2 is bad, because I completed the Estus drink and I took damage and still died. Hooray for Dark Souls 2. Hey, let's make the Estus recover very slow. For no reason. Yeah. Although I admit that if I played a little bit better, I could have avoided that easily. But I didn't. I was just spamming magic. But yeah, I completely forgot that this boss existed, and this boss is just piss easy. And there we go, that was the Prowling Magus and the Congregation. I just killed an entire gathering at mass. Hooray for me. Alright, now around this corner and up this ladder is a pretty helpful NPC known as Cromwell the Pardoner.
Something seems to be bothering you. Yes, I can tell. It is written upon your face. You have doubts about something you did. I am Cromwell. Regret, anguish, disillusion, bewilderment. What wonderful gifts they are. Together, they are the essence of life. Don't you agree? But now, you're lost, bewildered by your own actions. You poor little thing. Yes, how tiny and frail are we. But if your heart is yet sincere, your sins will be forgiven. Now is the chance. Demonstrate your sincerity to me.
And you don't have the Oswald of Kareem gesture either. So yeah, if you do aggro an NPC, you can use this guy to absolve your sin.
Anyone can be forgiven, as long as he is sincere. No matter how terrible the sin. Surely, we all deserve mercy. Yes. Anyone can... No.
But yeah, he doesn't cure curse though. There's some random items up here. Why didn't I speed this up? I probably forgot to speed this up, because usually when I watch this in editing, I speed it up, like, to watch it twice the speed, and then I forget to actually render the time stretch effect. Yeah, that is definitely what happened here. But hey, that was actually my first time meeting Cromwell the partner. I never found him in any of the other games, even though he's really easy to find. And this area is also really easy to find. It's like if you put on fall controlled air, if I find Ornifex, put on fall controlled air, it's actually an easier way to get items. Not sure if I can recommend that to other people, but hey, there are the cat trousers and the silver cat ring.
You've defeated my better half.
And I also forgot that if you talk to
Take it.
Man Scorpion Tark, he gives you a fragrant branch of yore after you defeat the Scorpioness. And put one more level into intelligence. Put one more level into intelligence because I popped some souls. And then we're going to talk to Strayed. Strayed is going to give us the Soul Shower sorcery, which you get from Scorpioness Najka's soul, which isn't really a good sorcery, but it's something. I just like to have it just to have all the spells. Alright, and now for the Lion Mages. The Lion Mages are really resistant to magic, and mostly only melee works on them, but that particular Lion Mage has the Fang Key, which you can use to unlock this door right here. And I stepped in the fucking corrosive shit. And right here is Weaponsmith Ornifex.
Thank you for helping me. I am Ornifex. I owe you some form of thanks, but have nothing for you at the moment. If it would not trouble you, could you visit my abode just down the way? Thank you. I believe that I can be of assistance if you would visit me.
Alright, and then we get another fragrant branch of yore out of it, which is really good. And in this, in that grass area, you can actually drop down to another level, and that is Homing Soul Mass. Homing... oh, hold on.
Look how far this undead has wandered. And a very fit undead you are. A bit too alive, but with a darkish shadow. Yet still unprepared for a deeper dark. And like every undead, you have no future. Oh my, don't mind me. I'm just talking amongst myself. But if you find the need for a truer dark, then meet again. We shall. The dark is still nascent within you. May the dark shine your way.
So that's Dark Diver Grandal. I believe I met him in, or did I? I don't think I went through that area. No, I haven't went through that area yet. Or I could have. I could have went through the gutter by now. No, I didn't go through gutter and Black Gulch. I went here first. So, if you meet him 2 more times, he opens up an optional area called the Dark Chasm of Old. You meet him in Black Gulch, and then you meet him again in Dranklite Castle, which is way later down the line. Homing Soul Mass, as I said, it's a pretty handy sorcery. It's not nearly as good in this game as it is in Dark Souls 1, but it still serves a purpose of having something to protect you in case somebody, sneaks up behind you. Deals a little bit of damage. And this is actually part of around the time where I get kind of pissed off at this game, because that room was literally nothing. There was no reason to go into that room other than to get attacked by a spider from behind a bookcase. Or a bookshelf. Like I said, there are a lot of things that this game, this Dark Souls in particular, does that are just straight up fucking annoying and just questionable in game design. Which is why it is the worst Dark Souls in the series. After, playing all the way through Dark Souls 3 a couple times, I'm gonna say that that one's my favorite Souls. I feel like that's the most put together one. Alright, so around here I'm actually exploring some places that I've never really explored before, so. This lever, I believe it, like, parts away, like, a big sand wall over in the quicksand pit area that reveals the door, or the door's just always been revealed and I've never noticed it before. But yeah, what kind of sucks about this area is that once you're down here, there's like no way to get back up unless you find another bonfire. Which is really stupid. I think I end up using at least 7 homeward bones just trying to get back to the chapel threshold bonfire. So yeah, this is a new area for me too. I've never explored around here. I figured I might as well leave it in because it has, items in it. Now, as I said before, you can light a torch to keep the spiders away from you, but it's not really worth it until one area later. That chest had Soul Vortex in it, and I was just like, ooh. But Soul Vortex is not as OP as I proclaimed it to be. It really isn't. But I think I can find a use for it somehow. I think I can find a use for it on some boss. At least in New Game Plus, you can try to use it on the Congregation or the Royal Rat Vanguard. I think it might be useful on Royal Rat Authority as well, just to get rid of those. I don't think I even fought Royal Rat Authority yet. Yeah, Rat Authority is kind of hard as a sorcerer, honestly. Alright, and this door here, it says it's too heavy to open, but you can break it open, but you gotta be careful when you do, because you can get hurt if you bust it open with a sword. And the door's locked anyway, so yeah. For a while, I wander around trying to find a way to get back to the bonfire without using my homeward bone, but eventually I give up. I'm just like, okay, yeah, there's no way. Eventually. Or there is a way and it's behind that locked door, but I don't have the key for it. Oh yeah, and this is another part I got really pissed off because when I used the homeward bone, I tried to progress further because I'm like, oh, I don't want to fight the enemies again, so I didn't rest at the bonfire. But it respawned the enemies anyway, so it was just like, what's the point of not restoring my Estus flasks if you're just going to respawn the enemies anyway? It's another one of those questionable game design decisions. Like, its sole purpose for doing that is just to waste time. Just to waste your time and be like, oh, you warped to the bonfire. Now you gotta sit at the bonfire. Even Dark Souls 1 didn't do that. I think around here is around the part where I start to get my groove back. Especially with this upcoming part right here with the quicksand pit, because I kind of forgot that there's an NPC invader in the quicksand pit. And the red crystal lizard you don't want to fuck with because it'll explode if you touch it, and it pretty much takes away your whole health bar when it does. So yeah, down here there is a basilisk right there, and then here he is. There's the invader. And I'm starting to fight them, and then I notice, oh shit, there are enemies spawning. So I gotta create a yearn to distract the enemies while I finish off the invader. I don't know if I commented on it earlier, but there were spiders that have like green legs. Those are poisonous when they hit you, so, or they might inflict toxic actually. There's a spider out there. Can't quite have the spider, you know, alive. You can't have any enemies alive while you're talking to Ornifex, because they will break down the door and they will start attacking you.
We meet again, kind traveler. This is my workshop. In your tongue, I believe I would be called a blacksmith. I create all manner of equipment using an ancient technique unique to my people. Normally, I only cater to a very select few. But I have a debt to you. I will craft one thing of your choice. My wares are far from ordinary. I am certain they will please you. I require no payment this time, but you must bring me a wondrous soul. My technique absolutely requires it. I trust you will understand.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. I'm gonna cut that out, but the entire time she was making that dialogue, I was just making bird noises. But yeah, she sells another copy of Homing Soul Mass, and she sells the Fall Control, and she sells another copy of Homing Soul Arrow. Or the first copy of Homing Soul Arrow. I forgot the one with the Ruined Sentinels is heavy homing. So, Weaponsmith Ornifex makes weapons that Strayed can't actually make. You can still do regular things with her, like repair your stuff and upgrade your stuff. And I got my Uji Katana all the way up to plus 10, so there we go.
Influenced by the soul that was used to create it. They can be tricky to use, but when wielded properly, are extremely powerful. This is what I meant by unique. These wares are not for use by ordinary folk. Come back again.
Alright, yeah, she's... The first boss weapon she'll make for you will be free, since you set her free. But after that, she has to charge you for it. And then there's an Estus Flash Shard in this area, in that little alcove there, and then I have to use another Homeward Bone to get back. I think this is actually reaching the end of the video. Well, I think I do one more thing. Yeah, there's this area that I kind of passed by earlier, and I really thought that jug was going to curse me while I was trying to unstone that guy, which would have been a thing that I would not have put past this game. But yeah, in this treasure chest is a fragrant branch of yore to make up for your efforts, and the Lion Mage set. Now, the Lion Mage set is pretty good because it increases your spellcasting speed. All pieces of it increase spellcasting speed. So at this point, Great Heavy Soul Arrow has the same amount of cast time as Great Soul Arrow. So it's pretty good to have. Especially if you're a Hex build, and Hexes take super long to cast. This armor is really good to have, the Lion Mage set. But yeah, that was Return to Drangleic Part 9. See you guys next time.